This is going to be a really interesting podcast because we're going to talk about the most popular end times paradigm, perhaps in the entire world today. Now, it may not be the most prevalent, but it is the most popular, particularly in America. It's an end time scenario in which God has two distinct people, one of whom will be raptured, and the other is destined for the greatest Holocaust in the history of the human race. If you know anything about Hal Lindsey, this is going back a long, long ways to the late, great planet Earth. He was talking about this Holocaust, making the Holocaust of the Nazis look like Girl Scouts weaving a daisy chain. So it's going to be a horrendous time for Jews in this popular version of end times, which again is being communicated on television, on radio. You see it in magazines, in millions and millions of books without using any hyperbole whatsoever. Now, the question we're going to discuss today is, yes, it's popular, but is it really biblical? And to discuss this with all of you today, I have a friend I've known for many, many years, Gary DeMar. In fact, just before the podcast, we were talking about the fact that we had spent some time in China together. Gary is the author of countless essays, news articles, more than 35 books, including one of my favorites, End Times Fiction, appropriately named and well-written. Gary lives in Atlanta, Georgia, with his wife, Carol. They have two married sons. And he is always involved in debates and communication. Anything he wants to talk about, he is certainly welcome to do it on this podcast. Again, the reason we're doing this podcast is that the future is on everybody's mind, from QAnon end-time conspiracy theories to horoscopes, psychics, and prophetic prognosticators. And there are real-world consequences to what we're going to be talking about on today's podcast. I'm thinking about atheist Michael Shermer. I remember spending some time with him a number of years ago. He's the editor of Skeptic magazine, and he was at one point a dispensational devotee until he discovered that what he thinks the Bible teaches about the end times is in conflict with reality. So again, these issues are very significant. People think the Bible says one thing, and then they find out that what the Bible is saying is incorrect in terms of reality, and then they dispense with the Bible. And they don't realize that they have not learned to read the Bible in the sense in which it is intended. And to that end, I have employed a system that I call exegetical eschatology. And I do that to underscore that above all else, I'm deeply committed to a proper method of biblical interpretation rather than to any particular model of eschatology. I